Welcome to Module 2.3, where we explore the ethical considerations involved in conducting research with vulnerable populations. Research ethics requires special attention to protecting those who may be at increased risk or have diminished capacity to protect their own interests. In this module, we'll examine how vulnerability is defined in research contexts, identify commonly recognized vulnerable groups, and discuss the special protections required when including these populations in research. Vulnerability in research encompasses several important dimensions. First, some individuals have diminished decision-making capacity that may affect their ability to provide informed consent. Others may be susceptible to coercion or undue influence due to power imbalances or dependency relationships. Some populations face heightened risk for research-related harms due to physical, psychological, or social factors. Systemic disadvantages, such as limited access to healthcare or education, can affect equitable participation in research. Finally, vulnerability isn't always an inherent characteristic, but can be created or exacerbated by contextual factors in the research environment. Understanding these dimensions helps researchers identify when additional protections are needed. Research regulations specifically identify several groups as requiring special protections. Children and minors need safeguards due to their developing decision-making capacity and dependency on adults. Pregnant women and fetuses require protection to address potential risks to both mother and developing child. Prisoners and institutionalized individuals face constraints on their autonomy and potential for coercion. Individuals with cognitive impairments may have limited ability to understand research participation and require additional support. Socioeconomically disadvantaged populations may be vulnerable to exploitation or undue influence through financial incentives. While these categories help identify common vulnerabilities, it's important to recognize that vulnerability exists on a spectrum and can vary based on research context. When including vulnerable populations in research, several special protections must be implemented. Informed consent processes often require additional safeguards, such as simplified language, extended discussion, or assessment of comprehension. For those with limited decision-making capacity, advocates or legally authorized representatives may need to be involved. Institutional review boards provide additional scrutiny for research involving vulnerable groups, carefully weighing risks and benefits. Researchers must implement specific risk minimization strategies tailored to the vulnerabilities of participants. Finally, researchers must provide clear justification for including vulnerable populations, demonstrating that the research question necessitates their participation and that appropriate protections are in place. These special protections help ensure ethical research inclusion while minimizing potential harms.